Supercapacitor in place, 2.7 volts, 5 farads, straight across the solar panel. So I'll have to put it in the sunlight now. That'll need to charge that before it'll have enough power to run the motor. So we'll just leave it in the sun for a while and see what happens. So that's the setup. I don't expect it to start moving for quite a while, because it'll need to charge that capacitor up before it's got enough energy to drive the motor. Well, that's sneaky, it's moved. I went and got the time-lapse camera to set that up so we could wait for it to charge up. And while my back was turned, it's obviously done about 2/3 of a revolution. Still, we'll leave the time-lapse camera on it now, so we should be able to see it moving eventually. I did just lift it up to check that the wheels were still free, so it's actually done another 2/3 of a revolution when I put it back down again. I don't know if I've got the patience to wait for that capacitor to charge up, because it needs to be fully charged before, well, I say fully charged, there'll be a cut-off point between charging the capacitor and having the power to drive the motor. Got 2 sections of video coming up for you now. First section is time-lapse, filmed on the 24th of April, 10-second intervals, and although you don't see all the detail because it's moved in between the 10-second intervals, we can see it moves a little bit. It's certainly not continuously running round the course, but every so often there's enough power in that supercapacitor for it actually to allow the motor to run for about 2/3 of a revolution, I should think. Nothing very impressive. So I was going to give up on the idea, but I left the setup sitting in the window ledge there, and on the 26th of April, 2 days later, I looked at it and realised the wheels were spinning round. So it had obviously charged the supercapacitor enough to allow the motor to take over, and it was spinning the motor. So I set the camera up again, this time just on ordinary video recording rather than time-lapse, and we can see it ran for about 2 minutes. So that's the charge from the supercapacitor running down. Once it's run down to a point where the motor doesn't run anymore, it'd have to sit in that sunlight until the supercapacitor charged up again. And as far as I can tell, it didn't charge up again even in the good sunshine. So I would put this down as a fail. It was an interesting experiment, but it doesn't look like we're getting enough charge from that tiny little solar panel to charge up the supercapacitor and run the motor. So we'd need to put a much bigger solar panel on there for it to run. Thanks for watching. If you want more information, check down below in the video description. If you like this video, you might like this one up here. And if you want to subscribe, you can check out my channel over here. Up here is my latest video on my channel, and down here is a video playlist associated with the video you've just watched. Thanks again for watching.